Hello everyone and welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy Heroes video and to my second episode of my State of My Accounts. I'm briefly going to go over both my solo and Jammax account, what I'm farming, what I'm working on and where my current account stands. So as you can see, we are on my solo account to start off with, and I have 10.287 million GP. And we have managed to do quite a bit since my last update. My Jabba now has his ultimate, of course, so still Relic 7, as you can see. But we have also unlocked Afra as well. He's at Relic 7 as well, so I've been using her Datacron with her in Grand Arenas. Currently, I haven't given her any Omicrons as for any of her team in 3v3 or 5v5, so I haven't given the Murder Droids either of their Omicrons either. Kind of just waited to see really how she performs once the Datacron expires, which will be mid-April, I think it's 26th, isn't it? Something like that. We'll check in a minute because we'll go through Datacrons in a second. And this is kind of generally what I'm working on. I am currently getting my Inquisitors up to Relic 7, Ninth Sister and Seventh Sister, the last two I need to do in order to get Reva ready, because obviously I do have a Grand Inquisitor as well. And I didn't want to do both my accounts to Relic 7 Inquisitors because obviously it's not a very exciting farm. But luckily on my solo account now, I've got a bit of a gap after getting Afra with nothing else really to work towards. So I've just thought I might as well get my Inquisitors up to Relic 7. As you can see from my third sister's shards, we aren't doing particularly well. But hopefully be able to pick this up when the next Grand Inquisitor event comes around, which should be soon. And hopefully get at least 30 shards, I'm hoping. 20 plus 25. If we can get like half a guild's worth of shards plus, I'd be happy. So hopefully you can achieve that. Obviously Zori is now farmable. Drop rate has been absolutely awful for me. I don't know if anyone else has experienced awful drop rates with Zori, but probably I'm refreshing her with the 25 and 50 to obviously just try and speed up the farm a little bit, and I'm only getting about maybe 1 or 2 shards per 15 attempts. It's pretty bad. But I am at a bit of a stalemate on my solo account. I don't really know what I should be doing. Obviously, once I've done Inquisitors, I'm probably just going to go back to hoarding mode, kind of waiting to see what the next announcement is going to be, because I'm assuming that we're going to get some sort of update soon, obviously regarding Cal Kestis, obviously his Jedi Survivor version, obviously the one that we actually get from the hero's journey. So that should be interesting. Obviously, we're getting Tarful and Saw Gerrera. So Saw Gerrera was also one of those characters that happened to be on my list of characters that I want to see in 2023. So I think we're about 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, something like that. Obviously, it could be Jar Jar's year. Never know. He was in my video. But in terms of Omicrons, I have currently 3 saved up. So this is the reason why Starkiller and Malgus up here, because I am considering putting 1 or 2 more on each of them, just to try and boost them up a little bit, because I kind of feel like Starkiller might be useful under a Seer Junda team with the unaligned Force users, and that kind of leaves you to use Empire on their own. Obviously, taking Emperor Palpatine, Mara, like Darth Vader, potentially like TIE Fighter pilot, some sort of like B team Empire if you're going to use Starkiller with unaligned Force users, which kind of renders that unique Omicron pretty useless. So I don't really know how that's actually going to play out. We'll obviously see once Seer Junda comes to the game and what the optimal teams are. Malgus is kind of one of those ones where I didn't get the Datacron for him, so he's always been stuck at Relic 5. I would like to take his relics up to Relic 7, maybe even give him another Omicron or 2, just because he's just really good. He's basically like a Grand Arena Galactic Legend with his Omicrons. He's really good. And then Sortie T3 are down here because I do have Sortie Cron, and I'm considering relicking up the droids necessary to actually be able to run that. So obviously take Sortie to Relic 7, T3 would need to go up to Relic 5, and then I've got some other droids potentially that I would need to bump up as well, but these are the most important 2 that need to go up to the appropriate relics. And then Omega's been here just because I've been using her as farm gear, and I'm kind of thinking that CG might do something with Omega soon, obviously based on the Bad Batch Season 2. Whether he gets something from there, I do not know. But I did take her up to Gear 12, gave her her Zetas, and kind of just waiting, basically. And then nothing else has really changed that much. As you saw, I took Sith Trooper up to Relic as well. I did take HK up to relics as well, who was been at gear 12 plus the 2 extra things for ages. So I just eventually just gave him his finisher, just taking to gear 13, as you can see there. Don't think I've applied any more Omicron since my last update. I think most everything is still pretty much the same. Nothing too fancy to talk about, so we'll just go over the ships very briefly. And as you're going to see from my sadness, I am missed out on a 6-star TIE Defender by 1 shard. So I've been looking at this for the last month or so, however long TIE Defender's been out, just because before the event closed, I forgot to spend my energy to actually get the 6-star. But it doesn't really matter so much because I haven't really been using the ships too much, especially in Grand Arena. And then Profanity was still just slow farming up to 7-star. Don't really need to spend any more crystals on that ship, I don't think. So we'll get that unlocked in, well, it'll take ages, I suppose, but we might do a couple of refreshes here and there just to speed things up a little bit. But my 5-star Profanity has been doing pretty well. It's normally just the assist that's been letting me down, and that's got nothing to do with star levels. So, and then everything else is obviously unlocked and all done. And then we'll finally go over Datacrons. So Datacrons, I did actually do, since my last video, I have actually added to my dangerous prototype list with an IPD cron. Also, my IPD is only relic 3 at the moment. One of those ones that I might upgrade, but seeing as we've only got till the 19th next month, I don't know if that's going to be worth it, especially when I've got a lot of high relic upgrades to do for the new set. We did re-roll my 8th, which was a second sister to an 8th brother one, just because I can actually use that in a split, because I don't plan on taking my second sister to relic 7 just yet. So that will be how we have on my dangerous prototypes. And the new set, currently have 4 level 9s. I don't think I'm going to go too crazy on this set, just because of characters that are required at level 9s. There's a lot of crossover between both this set and the new one, with a lot of like smugglers and droids and things required, which is kind of what crosses over and kind of ruins things. For example, with the Hondo Cron, that kind of like crosses over with like using Kira or whatever in 3v3 or 5v5, or some other form of smuggler team. That kind of like crosses over with the new one. So I might get a Kira Cron when this set expires, but we'll obviously see what happens with the new set. So it all kind of really depends. But for now, this is what I'm going with. I've got the main 2 of Sortie and Chupio. Then I've got an IG-11 Cron that I just happened to roll when I was trying to get Chupio, and I've got a Relic 7 IG-11, so I thought I might as well just keep that. And then I've got a Relic 7 Young Hang as well, so I rolled that as well. Can't remember who I was looking for, but I might get a Nest one as well. It kind of really all depends, and hopefully with the last conquest that's coming out, I should be able to speed up my farm a little bit and get some more Datacrons, hopefully like this, so I can just get a bunch of level 3s and level 6s. That is the plan, at least. And talk about conquest, I'd actually just show you I am on track to get Admiral Trench, obviously once the next conquest comes out, because I should be getting the 330 hopefully after the 3 conquests. And that is kind of more or less my account on my solo account. So that is really what I've done for the last 2 months. And now we will go over my Jammax account. Okay, now we move on to my Jammax account. As you can see, I have 9.6 million GP basically. And we currently are investing in different teams on this account. I've kind of taken the approach of both my accounts in that I will focus more on the meta on my solo account, which is going to be for competitiveness in Grand Arenas and everything else in the game, kind of doing what I think is right in order to actually fight as high as possible in Grand Arena. And then on my Jammax account, I've kind of been doing meme things and things for fun. So you might be wondering why some of my characters are on my favorite screen at the moment, in that I have actually been working on some obscure Datacrons and things to actually try out and give some more experience. And I do have a big announcement for my Jammax account, which will be coming soon, and for the channel in general over the next couple of weeks or so, hopefully. So you have to keep your eyes open for that. That'll probably be posted about in my community tab. We have been slow farming for Afro on this account. So we do have 000 at gear 12 with the plus pieces, and literally just waiting on Kyrotech gear to actually take him to the gear 13. And then BT is 6 shards off being 7-star as well. So hopefully we'll be getting Afra on this account over the next week or a couple of weeks or so. And of course, we're still farming up Zori. So as you can see, I've got a bit more luckier on the drop rate on this account than I did on my solo account. And then in regards to my other favorites, I mentioned last time Ben was someone that I was looking to take up to higher relics, up to like relic 7 or something, but I'm definitely going to take him up to relic 5 just because of the resistance Datacrons that have come out to the new set. And then Sanastaros at relic 7 because I do have a Sanacron on this account. The same with Nest. I have a Nestcron on this account as well. And then Hondo has kind of been one of those ones where I've been doing some testing with Hondo at relic 5 in Grand Arena to see whether he is actually viable without his Datacron. And he still does really well against Malgus and things. It is a lot spicier though. It can go very wrong very quickly if you don't stack up quick enough, because obviously without the basic ransom stacks up to like 10 straight away, it just takes a long while, and you have to really think about what you're doing in terms of whether you're going to capture someone to begin with, because normally they'll be the first person you target, and if you kill them too early, Hondo will just escape. So you have to be really careful, and it kind of switches around the strategy a little bit with a relic 5 Hondo. So I might take him up to relic 7. I probably won't do, just so I can keep doing some more testing. And then Boba Fett Sana Django's here because I did actually take my Tuscans up to gear 11 relic 3-star. So as you can see, we do have both the Omicrons for Tuscans. So I've been using Tuscan Chieftain with Tuscan Warrior and Boba on offense, trying to see how that goes. Obviously Tuscan Chieftain and Warrior tend to die just because they're so weak, but you can get a crazy amount of momentum stacks on Boba Fett, and he can just go crazy one-shotting everyone with the basic. It's pretty amusing. If we have some footage of that coming soon. Then we have Direct Krennic and Death Trooper on here. Same thing with my solo account. I'm kind of stuck on Omicrons. I don't really know what to apply next. So for meme purposes and just trying things out for the fun of it, I was actually thinking of giving Krennic his Omicron, which is just giving extra bonuses for himself and Death Trooper if he's on the team. So I've kind of been thinking about that as what my next plan will be after Afra, but that is obviously subject to change, obviously depending on what CG decides to do with an update. And we are pretty much the same everywhere else. I don't think I've actually applied any more Omicrons. Oh, it means click on Grievous there. Don't think I've applied any more Omicrons on this account. We do obviously have Relic 7 Inquisitors, the same amount of Reaver Shards and everything else. So I'll quickly go over the ships and what I'm doing there, and then we shall go through the Datacrons that I have, is what I'm trying to say. So TIE Defender obviously didn't go as hard as we did on my solo account because I didn't think there was going to make too much of a difference for me. Obviously I do not have Profanity on this account, like you guys already know. Don't have Jabba either, because I'm not just focusing on meta stuff. We just slow farm that TIE Defender up, and my Iden is only gear 11 I think, or gear 10 or something, so it just didn't really seem worth it. And everything else is 7-star, but obviously pilots won't be all gear 13s. And then I'll quickly go over the Datacrons I have. So like I mentioned before, I haven't really invested a lot into Datacrons on my Giants account. I've only been recently doing all the meme ones just to try them out, see how they do on offense and defense. So I have actually added to my Dangerous Prototype set. I've given another level 9, and I've obviously got one for Afra, because I'm hopefully going to be getting Afra again on my Giants account. But that'll be really annoying trying to unlock her, because that Hondo phase 1 in that event is really horrible to play. And then from the new set, we have all the kind of meme ones, I would say. Obviously Rose and Zori's actually look really good, and I'm probably going to Relic 7 both of them at some point. Obviously Nest and Sana are both Relic 7 already. We've been using their Datacrons in Grand Arenas and things. Hopefully going to make a big impact on the 5v5 season, because I don't really focus too much on Grand Arena on my Giants account, so we tend to play in a mid Kyber 2, which actually works out pretty well in terms of being able to try out some teams, because not everyone's tryharding in Cub 2, so we can actually have a bit of fun with this account. So does that work out pretty well. I have relicked up some other Mimi characters quickly just to actually show you. I do have a Relic 5 Farm Boy Luke. He is actually not that bad at relics, to be honest. I think he's one of those ones that kind of, he takes a while to like ramp up a bit because of his Zeta. He gains crit damage from his unique. I've actually been using him with Sana Staros, just because he gets like 100% crit chance from that suspicious thing, and a lot of extra bonuses for being a rebel as well. And he actually does a decent amount of damage, not a huge amount of damage, obviously from a starter character with the game. You're probably looking about 50, 60k on a special starting, and then 20 to 30k on a basic. Nothing too crazy, but still a decent amount of damage for an attacker. And he does get quite a bit of turn meter as well from the Sana team and things. And then not much else really to talk about. Lots of Mimi characters on this account, and we are hopefully going to be rounding up some teams to use in Grand Arena and things. So that's kind of more or less what my accounts are sat at the moment. I'm likely going to be bringing out another episode in a couple of months' time again, just so you can see where I'm at. And probably that'll be when the new Datacron sets out, and you can see what I'm working on then. But in the meantime, I do hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, a like and comment is always much appreciated. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below to not miss any future Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes content. And I shall catch you in the next one.